सत्यशील प्रताका बल विवेक दम परहित घोरे क्षमा कृपा समता रजु जोरे. So the Kshama word comes in so many places and there's that 12th chapter especially. Sama dukkha sukham kshami in 12th chapter word, you know that. Someone who is balanced in sukha and dukkha and all the time also kshami. And here the word is given kshama is forgiveness. So whatever is being told there is also being told here to be forgiving. Kripa, karuna, on all these words so many times in Bhagavad Gita. But the next word is the biggest word here and the biggest word in Bhagavad Gita. Samata raju jore. Samata raju jore. There are 3 reins. So one is Kshama means forgiveness. Next is Kripa, compassion. And next one is Samata. Samata means equilibrium. I told you that the whole Bhagavad Gita actually pivots on this word. You know, when you have a seesaw, there's a pivot in the middle. So the whole Bhagavad Gita is pivoting on this Samata word. And then Bhagavad Gita is called Sama. So we'll see now how. Let us sing this line and then we'll see that how important it is in our life also. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Bhagat Dev Ram Bhagavad Gita first, where all of these things come. Well, at one time I started to count, but I lost count. But one is this, this is the smallest word, but with the biggest significance. Samata. Siddhya siddhyo samobhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Samatvam. So, what is the difference between sama and samatvam? Well, you know, in English, it is like good and goodness. You know that nis that we add to words? Like that? So that tvam in Sanskrit, when you add, it becomes like that. Sama and samatvam. So, sama means balance, equipoise, equilibrium, like that. So, Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna, Siddhya siddhyo samobhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Yoga really is to maintain your balance in success and failure. But you know that is not so easy. When we have success, we jump and say, yippee! Everything is that. And everything in society is designed like that, to make you say, yippee! And when you have failure then, oh, after yippee is dippy. You dip down, isn't it? So my life all the time, and society promotes this. Society does not promote balance. Everything in society is designed to make sure that you stay in a state of imbalance. So please pay attention to that. That is why saints and sages and serious sadhaks, they eschew society, relinquish society. Because everything is designed to make sure that you're all the time. So any little thing, and then they make it, and then big business gets into it also. I just graduated from high school, I should have a graduation party. So this is a celebration, this is the EP. This is the EP side. So then their big business was interested in that, So they supply all the party things ready for celebration. So the EP part of this side. And then something happened, I did not get into the university which I wanted. I wanted to go there and I got there. Then that is the EP. That goes on the other side, you see. And it takes a few days to recover from that. But in society, so have you seen when they score goal in World Cup? They actually have a pre-planned celebratory what is it? Dance, yes, and flip and somersault and all that, isn't it? They practice all that before because football doesn't have somersault. Where does football have somersault, isn't it? So that is all practiced before. So that is the yippee. And then 11 big grown men, when they lose, they cry. Have you seen that? Cry like babies. So this is how society trains us to be. You have to prepare your victory dance, and wait. But nobody prepared for the defeat cry. So now Arjuna has found himself in that situation, isn't it? Arjuna is typical, you and I. He was happy to fight this war. So then, I get that one time. Really, there was no soldier there he was the pride of the Dronacharya, No soldier could match him. And next moment, they beat. So Bhagavan is throughout the Gita from beginning to end. I cannot count, I tell you. See? Samadukha sukham thiram somritattvaya kalpate sukha dukhe. See how many times? How he tells about this. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Sukha Dukhe Samudriva So like this, there are so many types of verses in Bhagavad Gita, right? So, get towards situations, we have to maintain our balance. With regard to people, we have to maintain our balance. And with regard to objects in this world, we have to maintain our balance. So you will see verses like this first one here. Sukha dukhe same kritva lava lava. This is situation. Because life will present situation of joy and sorrow. Life will present victory and defeat. It will gain and loss. That is what life will present. So in those situations in life, Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna, maintain your sukha dukhe same kritva lava lava jaya jaya. Tatho yuddhaya yujyasva. For us, you do your work and maintain your balance, and then naivam papam avapsyasi. For a strong strength. Naivam papam avapsyasi. You will not incur pap. Right? If you do this, that means to say what? That means to say, if I don't do this, I am incurring pap. And in Sanatana Dharma, this papa word is not like, those, one teacher was telling that boy in that class, if you break one of the 10 commandments, you know what will happen? He said, yes, I know. He said, what will happen? He said, there will be 9 more to break. So people feel only when I break one of these commandments, then they, whatever commandments or whatever it is there, then only I am committing pap. That is not true. See, this is a very simple thing. The idea is, if this thing in sukha and dukkha, so I score the goal and I do my victory dance, right? I did not maintain my balance, right? So then, what I am actually doing is I have become an active subscriber and participator in this undulating nature of the samsara. I subscribe to it. Because you can't have this one without that one. So if you subscribe to roses, you have to also take the thorns. You can't just have one. Of course, it might be a bad example because with GMOs these days, you might have roses without thorns. But we're talking about traditional rose. So, if you have subscribed to one, you have to also wait for the other. You can't have one without the other. That is the idea. Huh? So, our life just goes on. I subscribe to one which I like, and then I have no choice now but to accept the other one. It goes on like that all the time. So now, what we are saying, when I do that, that is pap. How? Because I already bought my sorrow. If I took this one, that doesn't come. No atom comes with only positive charge. And the result of papa is just dukkha only. So therefore Bhagavan is telling, if we maintain our balance, then na evam papam avapsyasi. You will not incur any papa. And I am not using the word sin because papa and sin, they are different things. I told you yesterday or the day before. You just use the word papa. So, I will not incur papa if I maintain my balance. But the moment I step out of that and I go into anyone, like if another person now, he has an interest in bringing dukkha to people. Many people really won't do like that, He brings dukkha. So then it's papa. But this side also is papa means that which will bring dukkha to me. That is a simple thing. So when we subscribe, we have to be prepared that the other will come. But if you want to maintain his balance, that is siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga. The definition of yoga is samatvam. Yoga, in whichever marga, yoga word is defined in Bhagavad Gita as samatvam. Maintaining that balance. So these are situations, sukha and dukkha, and then with joy and sorrow, gain and loss, with gain, defeat and all situations. So he said maintain the balance. Then, if you move over to 6th chapter, there Bhagavan talks about maintaining my samatvam with regard to people. He says, Sukrin Mitra Didasina Madhyastha Dveshya Bandushu. Whether it is Sadhushvapicha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate. The one who has samabuddhi with regard to Suhlin, Mitra, Udasina, means to say whether that person is a well-wisher or friend, a well-wisher or friend, or one who is neutral. Madhyastha, Dveshya, one who is hateful. Hateful. English word. So you maintain your equal vision of all of them. Because in the 5th chapter it says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanni Brahmane Gavinastini Shulichaitun Shwapakecha Pandita Samadarshina. The wise person, with regard to all things, he sees one Paramatma existing in all, and he maintains his balance. See, when Bhagavan Ram goes to Lanka, or when he sends Angad to Lanka, at one point he sends Angad also after. He tells Angad, you go there and do what is best for me and do what is best for Ravan also. So Bhagavan had this samatva, even Ravan deserves the love of Bhagavan. He tells you, do what is best for me and do what is best for Ravan. He seeks the welfare of all, really. Bhagavan doesn't come there with hate and anger and this and that to remove Ravan. That's not the bhav in Ramayana. The bhav in Ramayana is to the last moment to give Ravan an opportunity to reform. That is the bhav. And this is how Bhagavan is demonstrating there is equality with regard to persons. So first situations, then persons in the world. So like this, many verses on situations. Then many verses on persons. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavinastini. Living jivas. And then if you jump over later on in 13th chapter, Samaloshtashmakan with regard to objects in this world. Samaloshta Ashma Kanchana. Loshta means a tour of earth, then a piece of iron, and then gold. But we cannot maintain our balance with regard to that, isn't it? And see, actually, we saw that in the Upanishad also, in the morning time, there, the clay pot, and the iron nail cutter. Then the same example in the Upanishad, a piece of gold. So, the examples are used same way and same in Gita. I have to mention. Hey, look here. Suppose you bring a person who has never seen any of them and doesn't know any of them. A clod of earth, a piece of iron, and a piece of gold. He has never seen. Now he comes for the first time, all three are lying in front of him there. Will these things be worth anything different for him? No. So the worth is where? Not in the thing. The worth is in our mind. Because now you bring somebody who has seen it. And he looks at all three, he'll grab the gold and run away. So that means really this jiva has to now reflect a little bit. The thing doesn't have any intrinsic worth, like true. Nothing in this world has intrinsic worth. Who add worth to it, value to it? We have value only. When this is realized, we will start developing this samatva with regard to all objects in this world also. Then becomes after that all khel only, play. But right now it's no khel, it's a serious business. Especially where gold is concerned. Isn't it? You see, if you lose one gold ring, in agitation that will come there, so there's no khel, not play. This is serious business. You see? So the understanding will lead to that samatvam. So this samatvam is there with regard to situations, with regard to jivas, and with regard to objects throughout the Bhagavad Gita. And this samatvam is defined as yoga in Bhagavad Gita. Samatvam yoga, and you go on throughout, you just see If some of you see, it's a good thing to do instead of watching soaps on TV. Go through Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses, and see how many times you see the word sama. That's better thing to do rather than how many times. Sama is there. Now, this samatha is one of the reins that guide the horses. Now, where is this samatha in this Ramcharitamanas? I want you to see this thing. Right? I told you that Bhagavad Gita is the script and Ramcharitamanas is the drama. That is the drama which is there. Now see this. I don't know the number, I can't get this number. This is maybe 9 or 10 in Ayodhya. What is going on? Well, Kaikeyi, because of Dusanga, of Mantra, she asked for these 2 boons. Now one boon, Rama should go to the forest, for 14 years, and Bharat should get the kingdom. They said these are the 2. All of you know this story. And, just before that, Rama was told by the great sage Vasishtha Maharaj, my dear, your father wants you to be king. When Rama was told this news, Tulsidas writes Rama's reaction, his response. See this, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Request that you become king. Dasharatha did not tell it directly. He told the Guru, you go and tell him, please, like that. Then Guru Sikha Day, Rai, Pahit Gayahu, Rama Rede, Asabismaya Vayahu. When Rama heard the news, his mind became confused. So when we hear the good news, I'm getting his throne, then what? That is the victory dance now, isn't it? When we hear I have gotten this throne, that is now it's supposed to be the victory dance. Bhagwan Ram became pensive. Then he thinks, when we see Janame Ek Sangha Sava Bhai, all four brothers, they were born together, you know. Then Bhojan Sayan, Keli, Verikai, we ate, slept, played, fought together. Four brothers, if they don't fight, nothing happens. So they fought together. Karanabe, Dumabi, Yaha. We got our heirs pierced together. We got our Janev together. We got married together. Sangha, Savavaya, Chaha. We celebrated wedding and everything all together. Shared joys and sorrows, everything together. Then, Dimalapan Sayahu Anuchita Eku. In this spotless dynasty, there is this one improper thing. In this spotless dynasty, one improper thing. What is that? Bandhu Bihai Varehi Abhisheku. Meaning, the eldest one gets the throne, casting out the younger ones. Casting out the younger ones. The eldest one gets the throne. This is one improper thing in this spotless dynasty. How about one? So where is the victory dance? I got the throne. See, Bhagavan is demonstrating the Samatvam principle of, which is there in the Viveshan Gita, which is there throughout the whole Bhagavad Gita. So the victory dance is tempered by the thought of those who did not have the victory. But what happens is we think only about the victory and we don't temper that thought, and we couldn't care less about the other side, losers and all that kind of thing. But how, in other words, while Bhagavan Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, my dear, you maintain balance and fight. Tato yuddhaya yujyasva. Sukha dukhe same kritva. You maintain your balance and fight. But there, that is a very difficult thing to how to maintain the balance. Of Bhagavan giving practical here in Ramayana. Practical means to actually develop balance under different situations. Now, under different situations, you might have to resort to different means. But here, what he is telling, what Bhagavan telling by his actions. Look here. When you have victory, you think about the people who lost. How they will be feeling. So, in other words, now he gives something. Let your mind go to these people who lost. Then, in this case, Bhagavan is invoking another very wonderful principle of seeing. How can society deal such an unfair, unequal blow to some members? Because all things we did together, everything was equal until now. So we kept everything equal, and suddenly I get the throne and they don't get. You see? So it invokes this whole principle of equality, it invokes the principle of equity and all that kind of thing. It's a very elevated principle to have in mind all the time. So it is actually practical thing. I should always think about the others. So this is one improper thing. And on the next line, very nice. Dev Ram Charitman says, Prabhu Saprem Pachitani Suhai. Bhagwan's, the beauty of Bhagwan's regret, the beauty of Bhagwan's regret and lament, if studied by any one of us, Hare Bhagavatamanakai Kutilai, if studied by any devotee, what will happen? All the lamentations of our mind will go away. In other words, idea here and there also, remember, if I don't maintain my balance, I am engaging in papa. And we just saw that. Papa means something which will bring sorrow to me eventually. That is all. Don't think that papa will take you to a hell or something. Not like that. It will eventually bring some sorrow to me. So here also, what is presumed that if I don't act like Bhagavan Ram, I don't study how Bhagavan Ram responded when he heard that he is going to be crowned as king. If I don't study how he has responded, then what will happen? The kutilai from my mind will not go away. Kutilai is dementations of the mind. So I have to study this thing. And any bhagat, any sadhak, bhagat means sadhak, any aspirant, seeker, sadhak, bhakta, whatever, he has to study how Bhagavan Ram responded and see how he lamented. And if I study that well, slowly from my mind also, all of these dementations will go away. All the wrong things which I hold in my mind, all the things which cause me to maintain my imbalance all the time and then result in sorrow. This is the idea. So this is the first part. When he heard from the Guru that you have been given the kingdom. So the victory dance is tempered by the thought of others. Then comes Act 1, Scene 2. KK comes in there. 2 books. Scene 2 now. What is that? Bhagavan Ram, when he hears. This is just before Johan number 41. This is a happy number. He hears this number for the first time. What? You will be exiled to the forest. So see that his response. See that is right. Manamu sukani bhai ulabhai.
Thank you.
tree, or alarm and alarm, gain and loss. Just now we gained the kingdom, now we lost the kingdom. So then Tulsidas writes, Manamusukai Manukulamai. The son of the Sula dynasty, Bhagwan Ram, first inside he laughed. Gain 1 minute, their methods to maintain balance. Now lost, now different method to maintain balance. He laughed. Rama Sahaja Ananda Nidhana. Tulsidas Rama, by nature, is an ocean of joy. Not only Rama, because Ishvara Amsa Jiva, Avinashi Jiva also same nature. But Rama is able to maintain his balance. And Jiva is of the same nature, but Jiva is not able to maintain his balance. That is why we have to do some sadhana, isn't it? If Jiva is not able to, that's why we have to be in satsang. Because Binu Satsanga, Vivek, no holy. You will never learn this thing without satsang. Whatever I am telling you about this balance, have you learned that in your workplace? You will learn in university? No, you will not learn. This thing has to be learned in satsang only. Binu Satsanga Vivek, no, it's not going to happen. So now, Bhagwan Ram is in the nature of bliss. Jiva is also the nature of bliss. Because when you remove all the upati of Jiva and you remove all the upati of Ishvara, they are one and same. But the Jiva has to now learn this. So Bhagwan responds. Bole Bachan, Bhagwan spoke. Bigat Sava Dushan. Okay, he just told that now he has to go to the forest. But the words which he spoke had no animosity, not one iota of animosity towards Kaikeyi, even though she is the one who is telling this bad news. And this happened, see, not one iota of animosity. And this happens because of another very important thing which we all have to understand. This comes a little bit later on in the same chapter. Kaho na ko sukh dukh karnata, Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Kaho na ko sukh dukh karnata, Ram Jaya Nobody in this world is the source of my joy or my sorrow. Nijakrit karama bhoga saudhata. I only receive joy and sorrow in accordance with what I have done in the past. So if Kaikeyi is the one who gives me the bad news that I have to go to the forest, that is only my own karma, and Kaikeyi is only the conduit for my karma to come back to me. The source of the joy or the sorrow is me, myself. Then why should I have animosity towards Kaikeyi? Then people say, impractical. People say like that, huh? You impractical, what type of thing you are teaching, you know? Then somebody comes in my house, beats me up, take my car and everything and go. I should Mana Musuka. And no animosity and none. Yes? I should do like that? Okay. You just think logically, right? Somebody comes in my house, beats me up and everything, takes my key and takes my car, and they go. If you develop animosity and anger and hatred and whatever you develop because of that thing, will that solve any of that problem? Will that change any of that problem? It is going to change, and in fact it might make it worse. It is not going to change anything. Huh? If anything, it will make it worse. Now, you live in civil society. In civil society, you have been an active participant in civil society. In civil society requires now that you go, you call the authorities, call 911, call the police, let them do their job. That requires none of this anger and animosity and all, nothing. And in any case, if you do it, it will help. Nothing. When the police comes, you might not be able to tell some very good information, which if your mind was calm, you might be able to describe people better and all. If your mind is in that state, I actually have seen that many times. When mind is in that state, can't describe anything. Some valid piece of information, which useful piece of information, you would have missed because the mind went into that state and all. And which did not solve anything, actually made it worse. So the idea is to keep it like that. Really, if that has come to me sometime in some lifetime, how many current or 40 lifetime we have had. But who in how many lifetimes we have had? We don't know what we have done. People will like to think, no, I could not. Me? I could not have done that. I could not have done that. But you only think in this lifetime. Okay, in this lifetime you could not have done that. But you know all your lifetime or what? Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna, I know all my lifetime, you don't. And it doesn't have to be like that also. See, sometimes we don't know how karma works and what comes back and this and that. All kind of things can happen. You see, many people actually, through so many means, take from the society without, and we think we are doing nothing wrong. But that thing has to somehow be taken back. It will be taken back. If you jump high or jump low, karma will make sure that it balances out properly. Like people, see, one fellow was a fiction writer. You know fiction, right? People write fiction. He was a fiction writer, author. So his friend met him on the road. How is your writing going? Oh, it's going very well. Oh. What is your latest fiction? He said, my income tax return. So my latest fiction, you see? So we good at that or not? Everywhere everybody is looking for all the loopholes and all the things and how not to pay taxes in all societies. But society will make sure that whatever it is all balanced, it all balances out very nicely. So what I'm just trying to tell is we really don't know our karma. But see, we don't know what we have done, what we have not done, what we ought to have done and all that we don't know. But when we see karma phala, we know what we have done. If that is understood, I will not develop zero, not one iota of animosity towards it really doesn't do anything also, and it is an acceptance that yes, it is my karma only returning. Now thereafter, all that I have to do is to do what is required of me in civil society. Civil society has rules. You just do it. Follow the rules. That is all. If I report it to the authorities, give the description, what happened, this and that, all that, and let them do their job. So it's not any practical thing that we are talking. This is actually how it is supposed to be done. But because we don't have that balance and don't accept all of it. You see, we tell nicely, yes, it's my karma phala, you know what to do. We talk like that, but when anything happens, really we don't practice that. We really have not accepted it really deep down. So, not one iota animosity. Then next, Mridu Manjula, Janu Bhagavi Bhushan, his words were very soft and sweet and all of that. Because no animosity is there, but then there's no need to speak harshly to. He spoke very softly. Sunu Janani, Sunu Janani, Janani means, see, in our Sanskrit language, it's Matru. The first case of it is Mata. So that is for anybody I consider to be mother. But this Janani is also Sanskrit, is for my birth mother. So he doesn't use Mata. He uses Janani for Keikei. How total absence of any animosity towards Keikei. Then, Soi Sutta Parabhagi, Jo Pitu Matu Bachana Anuragi. That son is indeed most fortunate who loves to keep the words of his mother and father. Follow the words of his mother and father. He is very fortunate indeed. That offspring, child, that is the idea. Tanayama Pupitu Choshani Hara Durlava Janani, again Janani. Jagat Sakala Samsara. Now, that offspring or that child who is glad to fulfill the words of the mother and father. He said such a child is very difficult to find in this world, and he is blessed. A child is blessed to fulfill the words of mother and father. Then, in other words, the defeat or the loss is now being tempered and balanced by seeing the positives in the loss. This is the idea. So, in the gain, he sees the negative because the others will suffer. In the loss, he sees the positive. So again, it will come to a balance or not. So what are the positives? First thing, it will give me a great opportunity to fulfill the word of my father, because my father had given you word that he give 2 boons, and now you ask for the boons, so I will fulfill the word of my father. So it is not a loss, it is a great opportunity for me. Like then, Munigana Milanu, Shibana, then when I go to the forest, I will meet all of the rishis, Santa Sadhu, Mahatma, all of them. Here nobody wants to come to Ayodhya. They don't want to come to this palace. They sit in their little huts there everywhere. So I will go and get darshan of and Sant darshan. He tells in Bhagavad, good statue writes in Bhagavad. Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Ram, Nayan Santa Rasa Nayanan Sant Taras Nahi Dekha, those eyes which have not feasted themselves on a saint. Those eyes are like the eyes on a peacock feather. Every peacock feather will have an eye. Those things are only for beauty, they can't see anything, isn't it? They're just there serving no purpose. The peacock also doesn't think, oh, I have beautiful eyes. So they serve absolutely no purpose. So those eyes which have not gotten darshan of saints, they are useless in actual. This is what that verse says there in Bhagavatam. So now Bhagavan Ram is thinking, how fortunate I am. I will go to the forest and I will feast my eyes on all of these saints and sages and all. So, what is there with all the king? Nothing. I will go and see all these Mahatmas and all. Santa Darshan. So, and Santa Darshan is a big thing in Sanatana Dharma. Munigana, Milan, Seshvana, Savaivati from, I must see, he's saying, Savaivati from every standpoint. This thing is for my benefit. There's one more thing about this. दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोई। सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काहे को। दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोई। दुख में सुमिरन जो करे, दुख काहे को कोई। Dukh mein sumiran sab kare. What it means to say, all people remember God when sorrow comes. Correct? When sorrow comes, everybody remember God. When there's joy and jubilation, and see the people who lost and they're crying. Oh, Prabhu. Match, isn't it? And those who win the match, somersault. God in somersault. So, in dukkha, in sorrow, everybody remembers God. In joy, nobody remembers God. It says, in times of joy, if we remember God, that, when there's joy, how will we ever have sorrow? That is the idea. This is the verse. But inside of that verse, and in this statement of Bhagavan Sri Ram, because now he has the loss. He lost the kingdom, lost this road, lost everything, right? And he has to go. He's saying, from every standpoint, that is to my benefit. And the message behind these two, this Kabir Sahib, that one is Kabir Das, and this one is Bhagavan Ram. The message behind all of that is a very powerful message, which is a truism about samsara. Do you know? There is absolutely no evolution in sukha. There is only evolution in dukkha. You please see this law. It is an incontrovertible law. Even in biology, an organism only evolves when there are stresses from the environment. Correct? And in human beings also, only when there is dukkha, that jiva starts thinking, okay, I have had enough. Better I turn to Bhagavan. Until the jiva gets a good beating from the samsara, depending on how fast he can learn. Some jiva don't learn so fast, And some jiva don't learn so fast means what? You and I know. You see, this is very easily demonstrable. What is that? I'll show you. You catch a donkey with a piece of rope on his neck. You hold that rope and you take a stick and you give. And then you let your rope go. Then what the donkey will do?
Run.
He'll run away, isn't it? Then next morning, you see him standing over there and you take the stick and you do like this. He'll come. He'll get further, isn't it? He'll not come. But this jiva, or you and I, we come in this sansara from birth to death and we take up beating. And next life again we come back and again take up. And next life again we come and then again. And in between us and we jump to more smart. See, over and over we take beating one after the next from birth till death only. And we come back for another one. Yeah, baat hai jiva. How wonderful is jiva. So, this jiva doesn't learn so fast also. Take beating after beating after beating. But really, it is this beating. There's a nice story yesterday. The marble on the floor in Monday was complaining to the marble in the Murti, the Buddha marble. So, floor marble told, look, how this Lord can be so unfair and unjust. I am marble and you are marble. And everybody come and step on me, walk on me, drop things on me, and they come and worship you. And both of us are marble. How Bhagavan treated me and how he treated you. So the marble murti told that is because when they were chiseling me, I was quiet. And when they were chiseling you, you made too many complaints. Therefore you ended up there. The idea is, when this samsara is chiseling us, when samsara is chiseling us, really samsara is preparing us to become an object of worship, really. Is preparing us to get mukti. Anybody who gets mukti is an object of worship. So, when the bad things happen like this in the samsara, in society and in our life, we should not see, we should say like Ram, from every standpoint, this is to my benefit really. But the moment we complain, instead of moving up, we move. No. Means to accept the things. Okay, samsara is chiseling me. I will become a good object of worship only. Temo pitu ayasu bahuri sammata janani. To need to say 3 times he used the word janani. Okay. How he maintains that balance, and he tells Bhagavan, and he tells him, it is such a fortune. And then last now, he sees again, Bharata Prana Priya Pavahi Raju, and my dear Bharat who is dear to me as my own life. Now he will get the kingdom. And that is what I wanted in the first place, because when he heard that he is getting the kingdom and then Bharat is not getting anything. So now I'll go to the forest and Bharat will get the kingdom. So he lists all the positives that will come out from this boon which Kaikeyi asked. And all those positives balanced out very nicely the negative of having lost the kingdom. And then he maintained his samatva. Because if this side balances this side, then there is equilibrium only, isn't it? So practical means in Ramcharitmanas demonstrated by Bhagavan Ram how to maintain our balance. Now Gita only tells, they are not demonstrated, isn't it? Bhagavan is only telling Arjuna, you have to do this. And poor, I feel sorry for Arjuna. Poor fellow, how to do this? Everywhere only samatvam yoga ichute, samatvam sukha dukhe same kritva. Everywhere. Like that. So, here Bhagavan Ram is demonstrating very nicely how to maintain this thing called as samatvam or balance. Then he tells finally, Jao, na jao. No, before that, Viti samaviti moi sanmukha aju. He takes it one step further. Today, I have been blessed from every angle. Means when a bad thing happens, we should have that understanding. The pitch of our understanding should be so high that I can say, I have been blessed from every standpoint that this thing happened. Really, if we have reached there, then we really know what is samadhi. That I have been blessed. But we actually go after it. And we take it to the other extremes. We have to be able to say, I have been blessed. If on this occasion I don't go to the forest, if I don't go, people will, I will be considered to be the greatest among fools. If I don't go to the forest, I will be considered to be the greatest among fools. Mood. Sevahi Arandu Kaupataru Tyagi. It will be just like I am tending some castor oil plant, some useless plant, and I throw away Kalpataru, the wish fulfilling tree. How he sees so totally the other side. So this is the idea, the way to I got 3 examples here. Parihai Amrita Le Vishu Maki. I gave up nectar to poison. Like that, some such strong words. So this is Bhagavan Ram's demonstration of how to maintain that balance, which is there. So Bhagavan in Gita is talking about this balance everywhere. So that is the script, but Bhagavan Ram is demonstrating how to maintain this balance. And that word is this whole topic of Bhagavad Gita and Ramcharitmanas. This whole topic is now contained in that one word in Vibhishan Gita, Samadha. So the whole topic of the 2 texts is there in one word in. So that's why I said that Vibhishan Gita is really summary of the whole. So one word will tell a whole like a topic like that. Huh? Alright. So principle in Gita and practice in drama. The drama is unfolding on stage, like that for us to see. Alright, now I will stop today and we will pick it up tomorrow. Now let me tell you a little bit about this. See, this is Guru Dakshina envelope. And what exactly is Guru Dakshina in this tradition in Sanatana Dharma? Now when we receive any teaching from any teacher, because of the nature of the universe, if I take from this universe and I don't give back to this universe, then the universe will see to it that someday I have to give back. And then I don't like it. When the universe sees to it that I have to give back, and then I don't like it. So we say we maintain a nice sense of equality, and that's why we put in our pledge, why don't we take one step further, produce more than what we consume, and give more than what we take. We put it in, so that I don't find myself in that trouble later on, where the universe takes from me, and I don't like it. The universe will take only, if I don't give. So that same principle which is there in the universe is applied in this teaching also. When we receive from some teacher, we give something to. But if you're a brahmachari or swami, you find yourself in another trouble. Because when we are finished studying with Puja Gurudev, we went and we asked Gurudev, is it the duty of student, to ask what Guru Dakshina should I give? Knowing fully well that we have nothing. What do we give? But we have to ask. So Gurudev told us very nicely, I don't want anything from you, and whatever I have taught you, you go and teach everybody. Whatever I have given to you, you just go and give it to all and sundry free of cost. So we are paying Guru Dakshina to our Guru only by doing all what we are doing from place to place. We are giving Guru Dakshina to our Guru. So when we disseminate this knowledge of scriptures and all of that, we are also now providing an opportunity. Now this is not a mandatory thing. it is an opportunity for you also to give something in return. And though in the tradition, in scripture it is mandatory. In Chinmaya mission, we don't make it mandatory, we make it still voluntary. And when you give also, Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells you nicely. Anupakarine, he says. So you don't give, oh, again that Swamiji gave that envelope, Oh, how it will look, So then you give grudgingly like that, and we don't want you to give like that. You give nicely. You see that whatever is going on in Chinmaya mission, that is required, it is necessary for the society, it will help future generations, it will, build a better society, and it will help this work to go on and all of that. See, like that and give. If you give that grudge, we will take that money and we'll buy candies for Pavliha children, their belly will hurt. So you should not give like that. Give nicely, lovingly. Okay, so